Let the record show it's 7 o'clock. Public meeting is reconvening. And we're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance by Kenny Brantley, student at Carter, and also Curtis Winton's granddaughter.
Please say to put your right over your arm. Okay, ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Want to do this resolution? You might want to move this ahead and vote on it right after that resolution since they're here. And that would be J22.
J22.
We could vote on it right after the
I got you.
resolution.
I like that. Report out of closed session.
The Board of Education accepted the following administrative appointments effective July 1st, 2013. Arnie Ayala as high school principal, Rialto High School. Scott Sparks as high school principal, Eisenhower High School. Rhea McIver as middle school principal, Rialto Middle School. Linnell Hardy as high school assistant principal, Eisenhower High School. Eric Schessler as high school assistant principal, Carter High School. Therese Mendez as high school assistant principal, Rialto High School. Melissa Rubio as middle school assistant principal, Jehu Middle School. Shannon Miller as middle school assistant principal, Frisbee Middle School. Serena Straka as middle school assistant principal, Rialto Middle School. And Karen Good as middle school administrator, Kolb Middle School. The vote was unanimous. Congratulations to all of you.
Haven't met you, but I've met you briefly at Marietta.
You're the rest of us. Thank you very much.
The Board of Education approved Resolution 12-13-88 for release and reassignment of certificated management employees, and a copy of the report is available. And the vote was unanimous. The Board of Education accepted an extension of leave of absence without pay for classified employee number 1946623 from June 24th, 2013 to July 31st, 2013, and the vote was unanimous. Also, I want to give those of you a report of who's on first and who's on third. The assignments for the administrators of all of our secondary schools. Susan?
The secondary administrative assignments for 2013-14 are as follows. Carter High School, Principal Christine Foote, Assistant Principal Raymond Delgado, Kimberly Watson, and Eric Schessler. Eisenhower Principal Scott Sparks. Assistant Principals Jerry Sturmer, Cindy Aguilar Munoz, Frank Jimenez, Linnell Hardy. Rialto High School Principal Arnie Ayala, Assistant Principals Eva Serrato, Frank Camacho, Sharon Strotter, Therese Mendez. Myler and Zupanik High Schools Principal Amanda McLeod Weiser. Middle School Staffing 2013-14. Frisbee Middle School Principal Akinlana Osanduaguike, Assistant Principals Melanie Jansen and Shannon Miller. Jehu Middle School Armando Urtiaga Principal, Assistant Principals Rick Batris and Melissa Rubio. Kolb Middle School Principal Carolyn Eide, Assistant Principal Peggy Simmons, Middle School Administrator Karen Good. Kusera Principal Monique Conway, Assistant Principal Dorothy Ennis, Program Specialist Ramoni Yee. And Rialto Middle School Principal Rhea McIver, Assistant Principal Serena Straka, Program Specialist Jermaine Gray.
Thank you.
Next, we have the adoption of the agenda, but we have a couple announcements before I ask for a vote. We're going to pull item reference G 10.1-2 from the agenda, and that's on page 5 of your publication. And we're also going to move J22 under discussion action items. We're going to move that up to B1. Okay? Do we have a motion to accept the agenda?
No. We have one more item, the personnel report to pull. On page K2.1, the placement on the 39-month reemployment list, we're pulling that, or the board is.
Okay. I didn't have a document on it, so if you could repeat that again slowly.
Yes, to pull item on reference page K2.1, placed on a 39-month reemployment list, Williams Gary, grounds maintenance worker.
2.1.
Because the board took action to allow a 30-day extension.
That's correct, Mr. Montes.
Okay, thank you. With that information given, can we have a motion to accept
As amended.
as amended?
I move to accept as amended.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. The agenda is adopted. Next, we have presentations. We have a presentation of resolution number 12-13-91 in memory of Curtis Winton. And Mr. Martinez is going to assist us.
All righty, I know there are many people just waiting to hear this. And I'll read the thing. It's a little lengthy, so bear with me. I know we all love Curtis. Resolution number 123191, resolution of the Board of Education of the Rialto Unified School District in memory of Curtis Winton, June 17th, 2013. Whereas the Rialto Unified School District on June 12th, 2013, adjourned the meeting in honor of the late Curtis Winton, who was one of the founders of the district's Parent Center, the Parent Summit, and the Parent University. And whereas the late Curtis Winton was born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania on April 30th, 1941, and passed away on May 20th, 2013 at 6:30 p.m. And whereas the late Curtis Winton's son, Timothy Winton, preceded him in death, Mr. Winton is survived by his beloved wife of 38 years, Corrine, 3 sisters, 2 brothers, 2 sons, Calvin and Kenneth Brantley, 1 daughter, Sabrina Winton, 7 grandchildren, of which 1 granddaughter, Chloe Brantley, is a 2nd grade student at Garcia Elementary School, and another granddaughter, Kenny Brantley, is an 11th grade student at Carter High School. And whereas the late Curtis Winton was a resident of Rialto for over 36 years. He was actively involved as an education volunteer for more than 3 decades. His dedication at various RUSD school sites was extensive. Mr. Winton served on the school site council as a community member from 2003 to 2005 at Trapp Elementary School. He also volunteered at Trapp Elementary School in the early mid-2000s. Mr. Winton was a District Advisory Committee, DAC President in 2005, and also the PTA President at Kolb Middle School in 2006. He volunteered countless hours at Kolb Middle School until 2009. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Rialto Unified School District Board of Education extends its heartfelt sympathy to the family of Curtis Winton. Be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be made an integral part of the minutes of the June 17th, 2013 meeting of the Board of Education. Could I have his family and friends stand?
His wife is here too.
Yes, if we could have Corey?
Yes.
What am I supposed to do? Share information with you. Great honor.
Next, out of courtesy for the family, Dr. Seabram asked me to move item J22, which I believe is more than appropriate. If the family would be so kind to stay just for another minute or two, I think you'll be happy to hear that J22, and I'm going to read this, it's going to rename the Parent Institute to Curtis T. Winton Parent Institute. Can I have a motion to accept?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
5-0 unanimous.
So we can call that a 5+.
Yeah, 5+.
And there's Kleenex up
Good evening, everyone. I am so honored. Curtis truly loved his job, and he loved everybody here. And I just can see him. He's just smiling there, down at us, and saying, "Oh my God!" And I just can't thank you guys enough, because he loved this place, you know. And I think sometimes I got jealous because he was here so much. And I said, "You going again?" But I just want to thank you so much. Thank you.
And we thank you for sharing them with us. Next, we have recognition of Carter High School student athlete, Eric Moore. And our Vice President of the Board, Mr. Montes will do us the honor.
Wow, he makes Edgar look short.
Good evening, everyone. Buenas noches. Tonight, the Rialto Unified School District is honoring Carter High School student athlete Eric Moore for earning the state title in track and field long jump category. This is an incredible achievement for the 16-year-old student who will be a senior next year at Carter High. I'm excited about being recognized at the state level, said Moore, but I was not thinking about it at the time. I just wanted to do my best. Moore, who stands 6'5" tall and weighs 210 pounds, set a record by jumping 6 feet 11 inches high. Moore said, I have to credit both my coaches, Tarina and Ron Brown, because they motivated me every day to do better and to keep my grades high, replied Moore. Moore was born in the city of Bellflower and moved to Rialto at the age of 7 with his parents Ray and LaShonda Adams. Are they here with you tonight? Please join us, please. Please. He must have really tall grandparents.
That's very good.
The eldest of 4. Moore has a brother, Amarian, and sister, Emya, who attended Dolhan Elementary School, and a sister, Egypt, who attends Casero Middle School. Moore also played basketball as a center and football as a cornerback, quarterback, and receiver for the Carter Lions, and credit sports as a way to excel. Sports and these other extracurricular activities are great for me, he smiled. It keeps me busy and competing. And the most important thing is that it keeps me on top of my grades. I know that if my grades aren't great, I can't play, so it's self-motivation on my part. He calls his parents his role models. I love sports, especially the Miami Heat and LeBron James. But I'm realistic. I look up to Mom and Dad, said Moore. They encourage me to work hard so I can make my life even better every day. Moore's future plans after graduation will be to attend college, major in the arts, and work as a professional car and interior designer. According to his coach, Miss Tarina Brown. Is Miss Tarina Brown here tonight? Could you come up and join us, please? Eric began his high jump career during the 2012 track season. In his sophomore year at Carter, his first competition, he jumped 5 feet 10 inches high and finished the season with a school record jump of 6'6". During his junior year, Eric improved the school record to 6'11" and achieved the following: San Andreas League champion 2012 and 2013. Eric has gone undefeated in the league competition, ranked number 2 in California and number 7 in the entire United States. Inland Empire Championships, gold 2012 and 2013. CIF Division II champion, and Eric's jump of 6'11" ties for the 4th best mark in San Bernardino County history. Congratulations, Eric, and we also want to recognize both his coaches for their commitment to Eric. And with that, is Mr. Ron Brown here tonight? Please come and join us. Let's start with our student champ. Super coach, Mr. Ron Brown. Super coach, Tarina Brown. And could you take one with all of us in the front, please? All right, let's get in front of this podium because.
Come on in. Mr. Montes. One more.
Unreal. Very good. Thank you so much for helping. Good coaching. Next, we have the superintendent's report.
Susan?
Good evening, Board. I wanted to give you a little update on our virtual summer school. This is week 2. We have approximately 800 students enrolled. Each will have the opportunity, if they need to complete up to 3 courses in the 6 weeks that they have. So far, we find that the students are adjusting well and the teachers are adjusting well to the new kind of teaching and learning. And the graduation will be the 31st of July, and we'll get that sent out to you. But if you wanted to put that on your calendar, it'll be at Carter High School, more than likely in the evening. I invite you to go down to Eisenhower High School and take a look. The computer labs are open from 8 till 2:30 every day. I'd say we have quite a few students there every day, but probably about 90% of the students are completing their work online away from the school. But they have to come in to take their midterm and final, and then the teachers have office hours when they need assistance with any of the concepts. So far, it's moving along.
Is there a way to monitor that they are doing their work
Yes.
at home? Okay.
Every teacher logs in daily to see where the students are, and they email them or they can call them to talk with them if they're not moving along. And also the software allows us to run reports so we can see exactly how long a student is logged on for.
Wow.
So it's very Big Brother-ish, but this way we keep an eye on the students and make sure they're progressing, because it's tough sometimes to self-motivate when you're a teenager.
I just wanted to congratulate Carter High School and all of our high schools that participated in the graduation exercises. Carter High School was the last school to participate, and there were over 13,000 people there for their graduation, for high school graduation. That's incredible. I also want to congratulate them on a banner year, probably an exceptional year for our high school. I believe it was 7 or 8 league championships. 8 league championships, 1 CIF championship, well, 2 CIF championships, and 1 state championship. So with that kind of record, you could retire now, because it doesn't get any better than that. But you've had some incredible coaches up there. You've had incredible support from the administration and some outstanding student athletes. And this young man that was here tonight, to be recognized, it's an honor to be a champion, but to be recognized as the best in the state of California is something even more special. And I congratulate Carter High School.
Next, we have comments, public hearing. We have comments from the floor. Anybody wishing to speak on any item not on the agenda will be given 3 minutes. Dr. Wallace?
Yes. Mary Wilson. Mary Wilson. Is she? She's on her way right now. Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Mary Wilson, and the position I hold in the district is Transportation Garage Support Assistant. Right now, I am on the layoff list. I also go by the name of that little lady from the Transportation Department. I went to a meeting on Thursday after work. It was a CSCA meeting. And I found out terrible news. Well, they're all interrupting me. Okay, I went to the CSCA meeting Thursday after work, and I found out something really awful. The thing I found out was that the district negotiating team was not negotiating in good faith. I was upset by that because the negotiating team for the CSCA presented a wonderful, wonderful proposal. It saved the district money. I mean, and then not all of it was on there. They didn't even have on there how much the 410s was going to save. So, Dr. Sebrin, I came to ask you a big favor. Could you? We're going to have another negotiating meeting tomorrow. Could you get with the district negotiating team and ask them to come into the meeting and negotiate in good faith? You know why I'm asking is because we have 3 days this week, and we have 4 days next week, and then I gotta go. I don't have much time left. So if these guys would negotiate in good faith, we might get an agreement before the time is up. And one other, I need to ask you if you would check on something for me. You know, I work down at the transportation at the M&O yard, and we recently hired a transportation supervisor, but now we have 2 transportation supervisors. One came in on October 3rd, 2012. The other one came in on January 28, 2013. I have 2 supervisors in transportation. Dr. Sebrin, in the history of the transportation department, we've never had 2 supervisors. The one guy, his contract is supposed to be up on June 30. The reason I'm asking you if you would help us is, are they going to extend his contract? No. Oh, thank you. Oh, that's good news. You know why? Because maybe with the money that they're going to save from that guy working there, maybe you could use it to save my job. Wouldn't that be great? That would be just great. Okay, now I have another idea for these negotiations. Over the weekend, I got the LA Times and the Sun. In both of the papers, the May revised budget was out, and the legislature approved it just the way Governor Brown wants it. So now they're going to send it on to him, and he will sign it because they didn't make any changes. Now I have to tell you, all this time I've been on this list since March 20. That's a long time. It's almost 3 months. It's driving me crazy. Anyway, since I've been on the list, they have told me, as soon as we get the May revised, Mary, we'll look it over, and we may be able to rescind these layoffs. So, there was one paragraph in the story about the May revised, and they're giving special money, even more money, to school districts who have low income, school districts who have children who speak 2 languages, you know, all of these things. So I'm thinking, this is great. One more thing in negotiations, and I'll be home free. So I was wondering if you could just help me. Ask the people if they would please come in and negotiate in good faith. Thank you very much. Oh, and you know what?
Thank you,
I
Mrs.
have
Wilson.
do I have to go? I wanted to tell
What?
you one more thing.
One more thing.
Okay, I have to tell you. There's an old baseball saying, it ain't over till the fat lady sings. But Dr. Sebrin, she's warming up. Thank you. Thank you very much.
God bless her. God bless her.
That'll be a hard act to follow. Wendy and Larry Pickenpowell, I believe. Wendy and Larry? Okay.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm going to read this. It's a little lengthy. My name is Wendy Peckinpah. I have worked as a gardener for this school district for about 3 years now. This is my husband, Larry Peckinpah. He's a school bus mechanic for the district and has been here for over 20 years. 2 years ago, Dr. Sebrin demanded that every employee in the M&O and Transportation Department attend a meeting. The meeting was mandatory for all employees, and it was to address rumors of layoffs and department closures. At the time, Dr. Sebrin put our minds at ease as we were told that layoffs and department closures were not seriously being discussed at the time and that we should ignore rumors. He went as far as to say that our jobs were important to the district because when we do our jobs in whatever field we are working in, that would be one less thing to distract our students from doing their schoolwork. Last year, we had another mandatory meeting. Dr. Sebrin addressed the M&O department while Aaron Rogers addressed the Transportation Department. This time the meeting was more somber. If Prop 30 didn't pass, we would all be in trouble. If it passed, we should at least be able to maintain our current level of employment. No raises yet, probably no equipment, but at least status quo. Maybe we should have listened to the rumors because in 2 weeks, over 120 jobs will be gone, even after passing Prop 30. I have to tell you, all of us in M&O and transportation feel betrayed and lied to. Within the last week, our association has negotiated a fair compromise worth over $1.5 million to rescind the layoffs that burden classified workers. Our compromise included furlough days for our classified workers, even though we hadn't had a pay increase of any type in the last 4 years. We haven't even had a cost of living raise, even though the cost of living has skyrocketed over the last couple of years. To our shock and surprise, the district rejected our proposal because furlough days do not work. Really. I'm sure that our teachers in our district and our M&O managers would like some type of explanation as to why they were forced to take furlough days. I'm sure that the hundreds of employees in the San Bernardino School District would be interested in why they were forced to take furlough days as well. This needs to be settled now. We have only 2 weeks before we lose a lot of very good and very important people. The money is there. We are willing to work with the district to save jobs. The workload, if anything, has increased. We need to come into an agreement before this administration alienates all of its classified employees. We are a team, let's work together. We all just want to get back to work and feel as though there is some sort of job security. Thank you.
Steve Bartell. Steve Bartell.
Good evening, Board, Superintendent, Cabinet members, teachers, administrators, members of the community, my fellow classified employees. My name is Steve Bartell. I am currently the audiovisual technician at Rialto High School. I've been in this position since November 2011. Before that, I was the long-term sub for the educational technology technician. I stand before you tonight not only as a member of this union, as an employee of this district, but also as a product of this district. I attended Dunn Elementary School. I attended Frisbee Middle School, and I'm a graduate of Rialto High School, class of 1997. I come before you tonight to lend my voice to my fellow classified employees whose positions have been cut, like mine. As many others have done at past board meetings, I'd like to explain what I do and how it affects the students and their education. As the AV tech at Rialto High School, I handle the setup of equipment for all meetings, conferences, trainings, and activities that require lighting, sound, projection, or advanced computer support during the day and normally after hours. These events include Senior Awards Night, Honor Roll Night, Incoming Freshman Night, Back to School Nights, the Parent Summit, and the Superintendent's Talent Show, to name a few. I also handle all technology in the theater. Any events that happen during the day, from rehearsals to classes to ASB events that happen. They include our Ballet Folklore group and our stand group, which puts together an annual multicultural show. Besides these tasks, I also help IT with computer troubleshooting issues, and I also service over 60 of the LCD projectors that we have on campus. I'm also the webmaster for the RHS homepage. I have been the eChalk administrator, and I'm the administrator for the HD channels, digital media channels. I also aid teachers, staff, and administrators with various computers and technology that creep up every day. Along with these tasks, I'm also the technician who handles all of the Rialto High School 21st Century Schools programs technology. These include over 43 smartboards on campus and over 200 iPads and 200 notebook computers, which students take home every day and bring in. In completion of these tasks, I work closely with members of District M&O, District IT, various teachers, administrators, students, parents, and vendors every day. Sometimes playing the role of a translator between these various groups so that everyone can understand and so that our students can get the best that we can offer them. I urge you to please do not look at the dollars and cents, but look at the people and the lives of the students and the remaining staff that will be impacted by these cuts. Thank you.
Brad Worth. Brad Worth.
I want to thank the board members for the opportunity to speak here tonight. My name is Brad Hirth, and I am one of the many who are on the layoff list. First, I have to say that I really like and I am proud of what I do in the grounds maintenance department along with my fellow workers and in the maintenance and operations department and all the classified employees in helping to make the school sites look and operate their best. Each one has a personal story that they could tell as regards to coming to work at the school district. Individuals make up the team. And it's a good feeling when on occasion when a student, a teacher, an administrator appreciates what you do for the overall benefit of the schools, especially when it comes to the kids, when it comes to those kids. But there's something that quite frankly has us puzzled, especially in light of recent negotiations that really makes it that much more personal to each one of us. We were informed that the district wants to pick and choose who keeps their job and who doesn't. And the figures just don't add up. And it's really a shame that it's come to this juncture. CSEA in good faith has offered, in my opinion, some reasonable solutions on how to save money from the classified area that had been asked for. These solutions were basically ignored by your negotiating team. And that's confusing to us, especially in light of the governor's proposed funds to help all schools, and that now has been passed. This looks like a positive note to me. But this proposed action and the layoffs are quite harsh. After all, it seems that we've held our heads above water this far. It raises the question, why now? Why this action now? Please work with us, not against us. Do the right thing. And with that, I respectfully implore you to reconsider and rescind the layoff list. Let us go to work and continue to do our best to make Rialto Unified School District one of the best districts it can be in all departments, for our children, for our community, and for all of us to be proud of. Thank you for your consideration.
Ed Chesonic, Cheryl Decker.
Good evening. My name is Ed Chesonis. I'm with CSA, and with me is the president of our chapter, Cheryl Decker. The district's budget is a very dynamic system which constantly oscillates between operating at multi-levels of deficit spending and is challenged to achieve an equilibrium state of being balanced. The reality and nature of any budget is constantly moving and changing. The parameters of a budget are defined by its maximum and minimum values respective to a time period which derives the direction of its resolves. At this point in time, California is tailoring its funding portions towards all public schools in a positive manner, improving the 2013-2014 revenues for all K-12 schools. It would stand to reason then our district's current resolve to balance its deficit is based on injecting prior lower revenue contingencies of extrapolated values which are now evolving to more positive values. Therefore, the district should review and recalibrate its contingency values to reflect the new changes. To operate in between the maximum and minimum limits, in addition to the time period value that is constantly diminishing, causing a much greater challenge to bring the budget into compliance, will require additional effort. When formulating a resolve for a budget and correlating the abstract numbers with human beings and the impact to their lives hold a deeper meaning than just balancing an intangible number on a paper ledger. To review and to engage in the challenges of minimizing the human impact of this very dynamic problem will be well worth the investment in developing a higher value for all employees within this district. We encourage the district to review its classified elimination layoff once again in hope to more accurately reflect the state's revised revenue values. Thank you.
And I just want to say, would you please accept furlough days in exchange for all the jobs that are on the line? Thank you.
Yolanda Jackson.
Dr. Wallace?
Yes.
Okay, we're getting close to the 20 minutes for the group presentation. Getting close, but we're still okay. How many more do you have to speak on this topic?
I have two.
You have two more? I think we're okay. We're good.
Yolanda Jackson.
Good evening, board, cabinet members, and parents, teachers, administrators that are in the audience today. Today, I stand before you as a district employee, but also as a member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. And I just want to say thank you for your continued support in allowing us to recognize students in this district. Our Z-Ray, Zetas Recognizing All Youth, this year was held in April, and we recognized over 60 students in Rialto Unified and Central School District, and we were very pleased that board member Nancy O'Kelly came to the function as well. Hopefully you had a great time. Yes. And in the future, my chapter is small. We service the Inland Empire, and we have about 10 members. But the event this year had over 260 guests in attendance, and each year we project it to be larger, and we want to start awarding scholarships to students. Our chapter is small in numbers, but we make our numbers count. So as we move forward into the next year, I ask you to save the date. It's Saturday, April 5th, 2014. I'm telling you now so that you know. We would like to see some more board members. There were several administrators and teachers and counselors that were in attendance. Also, this year when we sent out the letter asking for student nominees, the counselors were waiting for our letter. And the response was overwhelming this year. And each year we try to do more. This year we recognized seniors by giving them an honor cord. And I want to close with a conversation I had with a parent from Myler High School, that their child has always been in trouble. They've never been recognized for anything, and it brought joy to her heart and tears to her eyes to see her senior get an honor cord that she proudly wore on her graduation day. Thank you.
April, what day was that? April
5th.
April 5th? Thank you.
Also, there's a representative from Garcia that did not fill out a form. If you're here, one representative from Garcia.
What was her
Good
name?
evening, Mr. Superintendent and the board, everybody. My name is Marisela Maldonado, and I'm representing Garcia Elementary School. I would like for the board to take in consideration our petition. We have like 200 signatures to keep our principal and Mr. Navarrete to continue on our school. He's been a very good principal. He keeps the API scored at 824 high from the last 3 years, and I'm sorry, I'm so nervous. He encouraged the kids to, to do well, to keep up, and participation with the parents and everybody. So we appreciate if you consider him to stay in our school. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Next, we have comments. Anybody wishing to speak on the agenda will be granted 3 minutes.
Okay. Sarah Garcia.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Superintendent Seabram, board members, and members of the community. I am here to say thank you from the behalf of my family because of the outstanding job with the graduations. You made it possible for 5 carloads in my family to go and see my granddaughter graduate. It was something that they wouldn't have been able to do because of, when you could do it in schools, you just couldn't get so many tickets and that's it. But I just want to say thank you. I know I had heard some negatives on it, that why over there and why not, whatever. But I tell you, when we got the report from everybody, it was just great. It was so good to see all of you in your robes and everything, and it was just really awesome. It was awesome, and it was more awesome when I saw my granddaughter up on the big screen and everything like everybody else's, And if you want to see grandpas cry and everybody cry, it's just really nice, and everybody comes together, and it was just really great. And I want to say thank you to all of you. You all look great up on the screen, smiling and everything. And I know your hands must have been red. But that being said, I also have one more thing to say. That way I don't have to come back up. I wanted to mention on the Parent Center, if I may. I just want to say that I think it's very noble to have a parent center named after Mr. Winston. He was a fine man, and will be dearly missed. And no words can really say to what he's was about. And he did bring things to our community. I've never seen anything like that done before in our community, and I know it takes an idea, a vision, and a superintendent that gives it the okay to make it happen, and the board. And again, thank you very much.
Thank you. Rafael Charia. Rafael. Okay.
Good evening, members of the Board of Education, Dr. Seabram, and the general public. My name is Rafael Chavarria, and I have been here in the community for over 21 years. I'm a former employee of the Rialto School District, and also retired from state service. And also I was a member for 18 years with CSEA. So I am here to support Mr. Albert Castillo. He has been an inspiration to the school, to Rialto High School. He has built great relationships between the community and school teachers and administrators. Mr. Castillo has changed the entire atmosphere of the Rialto High School. He understands the community. He engages families as equal partners, and this we work for all of us working together so the students can reach their highest potential. We understand that Rialto High School did not make its API last year. Therefore, the school lost the QEIA money. However, when you weigh all that has positively improved Rialto High School this past 2 years, it outweighs this negative. Also, we don't see that Mr. Castillo should be totally responsible for losing the QEIA money. He has a supervisor and has a superintendent who is equally responsible. A superintendent has a responsibility to guide a principal when things are not going well. When things are not going well. Mr. Castillo has renewed hope for the school, and we want to keep that momentum. Mr. Castillo has transformed Rialto High School so that students who attend Rialto High can be successful. And this takes vision, risk, and strength. Thank you, members of the school board, for taking time and reading this letter that we have sent you. Have a good night, okay?
Elisa De La Rosa. Elisa De La Rosa.
Buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes.
Señores del School Board Members. En esta noche yo quiero hablar más como madre y vengo a pedir la petición de que nos dejen a Mr. Castillo en la escuela Rialto High School, ya que yo he visto muchos cambios. Yo he sido voluntaria ya por 13 años en este distrito y yo realmente me siento bienvenida en esa escuela. Me gusta a mí participar, me gusta ayudar a los demás a jóvenes, a los padres, pero yo quería, como en esa escuela yo quería ayudar, pero yo no me sentía no sabía por dónde entrar. Bienvenida, no me sentía así. Ahora yo he visto el cambio en muchos padres, nos dan muchas clases para que nosotros los papás nos involucremos y de verdad queremos que nuestros hijos...
Good evening, members of the board. I'm here as a parent, and I'm here to request that you keep Mr. Castillo at Rialto High School. I've been a volunteer at the Rialto Unified School District for 13 years. I feel very welcome. I like to help parents and students, and I've seen many changes.
Esta petición es en una forma positiva. Es mi corazón como madre. Que yo he visto realmente muchos cambios en los jóvenes, porque yo me he involucrado con varios jóvenes y de verdad yo he visto varios cambios en ellos, que cómo participan ahora, cómo se sienten más confidentes al participar en la escuela. Aparte que si uno como padre está envuelta en la escuela, también va a haber cambios en los hijos, se van a ver reflejados porque nosotros estamos involucrados, vamos a aprender más y nuestros hijos también van a ser, siento que va a ser una gran diferencia. Estoy un poco nerviosa, pero yo les voy a hacer llegar la petición escrita. Tengo la firma de 57 padres que queremos que se quede Mr. Castillo, por favor.
I think that this is something positive for Mr. Castillo to remain. I feel this in my heart. I've seen many changes in students. I see that they feel confident in learning and in what they do. And if we as parents continue to participate and to learn, then our children will participate and learn as well. I have a written request with 55 petitions that I'd like to present to you.
Muchas gracias por tener el tiempo de escucharme. Gracias.
Thank you for your time and listening to me. Thank you.
Elizabeth Moreno.
Thank you.
Good evening, board members. Good evening, everybody. We want to thank the school board and the superintendent for honoring our rights as parents of the Rialto School District community to address the school boards as written in the Brown Act. First of all, we want to make it clear that we are here as parents whose children attend Rialto High School, and not because we were asked to be here. Also, Mr. Castillo, the principal, does not know that we were speaking this evening. We are here of our own accord, so we hope that our speaking to you this evening does not have a negative impact on Mr. Castillo or anyone else. We are not here to complain. We are not here to ask you for the superintendent for anything. What we want to do is let you know that we as parents want to express the positive and the good that we are experiencing at Rialto High School these past 2 years. First, we are impressed and thankful for the 21st century school that Mr. Castillo is leading at Rialto High School that started with 300 students It is our understanding that for that 13-14 school year that there will be 700 students. Our students in the 21st century school are demonstrating a renewed interest in learning and in school. We see that the teachers have a better attitude and motivation about teaching. This make our students motivated and encouraged. As parents, we are happy to see our kids want to attend school. We thank Mr. Castillo for bringing this vision of the 21st century school to Rialto High School, and we look forward to its expansion to the 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. We are sure that you will soon see the benefits and positive results in all children's learning. Second, we are appreciative and thankful to Mr. Castillo for the renewed parent involvement at Rialto High School. Mr. Castillo has embraced the parents and succeeded at getting parents involved through the school parent center. Many of us parents have had our older children attend Rialto High School, and for the first time, we as parents truly feel welcome at Rialto High School. Mr. Castillo created a climate where parents are partners with the teachers and administrators and in the education of our kids. Through the school's parent center, he has brought computer classes and the PICE workshops with over 2 parents involved. As parents, we are learning alongside of our students about colleges and the opportunities for our kids. The parent university information is meaningful and relevant when you have a better understanding. And when kids see that the school and parents are working together, this is also thanks to the vision that Mr. Castillo has brought to Rialto High School. Thank you, board members. Thank you, Mr. Sebran, Mr. Wallace. Thank you for having us tonight, being here with you guys. Thank you.
Okay. That concludes public hearing. Next, we have public information and correspondence. This is a reminder, the next regular meeting of the Board of Education is scheduled for Wednesday, June 26th at 7 o'clock here at the Dr. John R. Casalunas Educational Center, 182 East Walnut Avenue, Rialto. Consent calendar action section. All matters listed under the consent calendar are considered by the Board of Education to be routine and will be enacted in one motion. There will be no discussion of these items prior to the time the board considers the motion unless the members of the board, the administrative staff of the public request specific items to be discussed and or removed from the consent calendar. Do we have a motion to accept E through I?
So moved as amended.
I
We have a
second
second?
it. I second.
I have a discussion on 12, G12.
G12. Okay.
Okay, this is the item about approving the sync system. It's a software solution that to be used to help us align with Common Core. My concern is that it's an extremely expensive program and there are ongoing costs after the first year. I have also heard at the NSBA conference and from others that we can get the pacing guidelines. A lot of the groundwork has been done in other states that would make an ideal model for us. North Carolina, Georgia, New York, and South Carolina all have excellent pacing guides which are aligning the Common Core with current standards and laying out timelines. My suggestion is perhaps we could order what they have developed and use that as a starting point, use that as a basis for developing our own Common Core program, because the units have to be developed by our own teachers. You know, we need teams of teachers from every grade level with a kind of a broad model to start with, and then they align it, and then they create the units that we need. And I think we could save an awful lot of money if we just got these free things that have already been developed, and then we can modify them to fit our needs, and our teacher teams can work with those. I think that that might be a better solution than ongoing expenses for a program.
Any other comments?
We can review that. So we can just pull that item and get a chance to review it. At least bring you some information back.
That would be good.
Okay. Other than,
I make a motion that we pull that item.
A second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any other items to discuss? We have a first and a second.
Well, we have to vote on that one first, right?
No, we did.
No, we
Okay.
just did.
It passed.
I wanted to bring up the school lunches on item 8, J8. Oh,
Okay.
no, that's the next, yeah, that's the discussion.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we're okay
Yeah,
with
we're
this?
fine.
Okay, so can we get a vote?
We did.
Aye.
Didn't we?
Well,
voted.
to the pull that item
To
12.
pull it. I
Yeah.
thought we already voted.
No.
We did. We
No,
need
we
to.
did. Now we got a first and a second on E through I.
E through
Unless
I.
you have another item you want to discuss.
Oh, no, I'm
Okay,
fine.
so can I get a vote?
Aye.
Aye?
Aye.
Okay.
Yeah. Item 12.
Next, we have discussion action items. Discussion action items will be enacted in one motion unless members of the Board of Education request specific items to be discussed. Can I get a motion for J through L?
So moved.
We have a
Second. Second.
I have discussion on 13 and 14.
Okay, start with 13.
Well, they're basically the same thing. Basically, what 13 and 14 are saying is we're going to use Measure Y money to pay for our portable classroom leases, most of which are at Eisenhower High School. Now, I've done some research, and my first question is, you know, Eisenhower would still be needing these portables, so I'd like to know how would we have paid for them if we did not have the bond money. I know that it was written into the original bond to pay for temporary interim housing. However, the bond was passed in 2010. It's now 2013, and we've made no effort to replace the portables with permanent classrooms, which was one of the big components of the bond. Most of the portables are, like I said, at Eisenhower, and if you just look, since the bond was passed in the last 3 years, at the cost that's quoted here, we've spent close to, or we will spend close to $600,000 right there on leasing the portables. It again brings up my question of why the bond money did not start at Eisenhower High School, which is the school with the greatest need. I know we cannot turn back the clock, but this seems to be money going down the drain that we could have been addressing and getting rid of those portables and putting in the permanent classrooms. So I just wanted to make a point with that. I understand it is in the bond literature that we can pay for interim housing, but 3 years is kind of a long interim, so, you know, I'm a little concerned, and I just want to see every cent of this Measure Y money used as it was intended, and, you know, over $500,000 is a lot of money for rentals. That's basically money just down the drain.
Point taken.
Sharon?
It was paid with developer fees in the past, and when the economy took a dive, so did the development in our area.
Right.
So when the developer fees were drying up and the bond we were preparing, or the district was preparing for the bond campaign, it was a stopgap measure to keep the portables, because obviously we need them for our students in the
Right.
district. And I think hopefully in the future, if the development starts back, we will get developer fees again to pay for those until we, you know, can afford to have permanent classrooms built.
My question is, let's say the bond didn't pass, what would we be doing? Would our Eisenhower kids be sitting out on the football field having class, or what?
No, but there may have been some other cuts in the district necessary to afford those classrooms.
And I understand that, but we really need to get the permanent structures up and stop wasting this money. This is an incredible amount of money. So.
Point well taken. Any other discussion items? Okay.
J8.
J8.
This item is to approve a multi-year increase for paid lunch prices that includes a 10-cent increase per year, beginning with the 2013-14 fiscal year through 2017-2018 fiscal year. So in essence, we're being asked to approve an increase for the students who pay for their lunches. 10-cent increase for the next 4 years might not be a lot of money for some people, but for many people it is, especially when, parents get a bill for $50 because they went so long without giving their kids the change every day, or a $100 bill. And what happens if they can't pay for the lunches? The kids, go hungry or whatnot. The reasoning behind this increase stated that the state reimburses, is that correct, a certain portion?
Yes, sir. The state funds the Nutrition Services Department, and this is not a choice of the district. This is a mandate imposed by the USDA.
So was the mandate imposed, the 10-cent increase being imposed by the state?
What the mandate says is that what we charge for meal prices needs to be more in line with what they reimburse us for meals in the district. And there's a little over $1.50 difference in what the students actually pay. The prices for the surrounding districts is very low compared to those in our area. We haven't raised prices only but once in the 19 years that I've been here. And I believe that was was it a nickel?
Yeah, it was a quarter. I was the director at
It was
that
a quarter.
point. It was a quarter.
So this is, like I said, it's not a choice. This is the National School Lunch Program was reauthorized in 2010, and part of that mandate said that we were to bring our prices in line with the reimbursement rates.
What happens if we don't?
We could lose our funding.
Mandate. That means you have to do it.
Quirky rules, but we need.
And yeah, and actually there will probably be more beyond those. So this is we're trying to take it slow so it doesn't affect, it affects roughly 7% of the population.
Because the majority are free lunches. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other discussions? Okay, if we don't have any more discussions, can we get a vote? We have a first and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
It's an aye, but I'm not happy about 13 and 14, but it's an aye, because I don't want my kids sitting out on the football field.
That'll be an aye for me for all items except for J2 through 7. That'll be an abstention for me.
Okay. 2 to 7. Okay. Next, we have new business. Does anybody have any items to bring up?
I do have something to discuss in the future. I would like to see us look at bringing back enrichment programs to the Saturday step-up program. Now that we're doing it in-house, it shouldn't cost us anything. And part of what we're missing by not doing it is giving the students time to love learning. And, as you've heard the parents, some of the students are beginning to get there. And if we don't include enrichment, then we're missing an opportunity. I didn't know whether we could have a fiscal study on it. Whether it's how much it would cost us, whether it's timely, or whether we need to wait.
Are you talking about special programs? Because basically, Saturday step up, most teachers, there's a variety of things going on campus. Some teachers are doing more enrichment, some are reviewing for AP exams, some are doing different things. Are you talking about bringing in an outside program for Saturday step up? Or?
No, internal, all our own people. It's the same as a step up program without paying an outside contractor. So we would pay our own people.
I thought we were already doing that.
Well, we don't have enrichment. That was cut down when we just before we changed the step-up program. Now we're getting, to my understanding, why don't I ask the question to somebody who really knows? Can we?
Dr. Siebert, may I?
Can we get some explanation on how What do we have enrichment?
The Step Up program this year is only for credit recovery. So when students are absent, because we can only be reimbursed for absences to make up our ADA. So previously, it was a combination.
But the thing we talked about when we went this route was if schools had funding that they could use from categorical or whatever it was to sponsor enrichment classes, they would be allowed to do that. So you'd have the Step Up program and you'd have enrichment classes that were funded totally different. If that was what we were supposed to do from the beginning when we went with doing our own. I don't know if we've done very much of that.
Ms. MacGyver Brown, did we had any enrichment this year from categorical funds?
Good evening, Board. Robin MacGyver Brown, Senior Director of Categorical Programs. And we would love to have done enrichment this year, but we no longer have a funding source at the school sites from categorical funds to provide for that. But Dr. Seabram is correct in that the schools, if they wanted to use a portion of the money they made from Step Up to then pay teachers to do some enrichment activities, I know their general lottery fund is limited, but that's another funding source that they could use, or they could work through their PTAs or PTOs and provide some of those extra kinds of enrichment activities. Step Up this year did go directly to being able to be recoverable, and so we weren't able to utilize the other categorical funds like Title I to provide those outside of English language, arts, and math.
But are we still doing Step Up at the elementary and middle school level? Because they don't have credits to recover.
It's not credits, it's seat time.
It's attendance.
Right, I understand that.
Absences to recover.
Absences.
But they're doing a variety of things at those schools, right?
They're doing academics.
Or sports.
No, makeup work.
Don't do sports.
Or
No. A part aside from the Step Up. They have other activities going on the weekends aside from Step Up.
But they're separate from Step Up.
Yeah, they're not connected. They're not being. We're not getting recoverable ADA for the kids playing ball.
That's correct.
Right.
But the teachers that come in and teach on Saturday,
they are paid.
right, and they can kind of do their own thing as long as it's something academic. So it can be enrichment or it can be.
It should not be enrichment. It should be associated with subject areas that they may have missed when they were not attending school.
I think the confusion is originally the original contract for Step Up with the consultant that brought it to the district was originally intended to recover ADA, and it was doing that. But aside from that, there was also kids that were coming to the program who were not ADA recoverable.
Right.
So that was classified as enrichment. Am I correct?
Yeah, and we had a lot of those classes. I would tell you,
and it was affordable at the time, but not anymore.
Right.
But just to clarify as well.
The other thing that could happen, there are a lot of programs that are being offered that may not cost anything. If you had a police officer that wanted to come over on a Saturday and talk to kids about safety issues, that's not a cost to us. There are community things that are going on. But it would be, the school would have to search for those kinds of things to offer where it would not cost, whether we had any money from categorical or not. It's just a chance for people to get a group of our students when they were doing a thing with how to vote with elections and how to sign up. We had a lot of that going on last year on Saturday. So it's going to depend on how creative the principal is at the school as to what kind of activities they want to have. As long as they're not infringing upon the Step Up monies, they're okay.
And just a clarification, when the program was started, the intent was to include enrichment.
Was it in the contract?
Well, that was understanding. That was my intent when it all started.
Okay.
So I'd love to get back to it. So if we could just have some, whether it's reasonable or should we wait? Supposedly, we hear money's coming. The governor has not signed, but we'll know. Maybe by October, maybe next year.
The classes that they did have last year, a lot of our kids were helped in preparation for tests. They did a lot of. I know when Andy was at Rialto High, he had a lot of different classes going on to help kids in their preparation beyond being absent. and those things were going on throughout the district. They were very helpful. So now it's a matter of finding how we're going to pay for them.
If the district still gets half of the step up, we should consider that.
Dr. Seabram and Mr. Martinez, if I can say one thing.
Yes.
Embedded in the English Language Arts program, the principals and the teachers have had direction that they can be creative. So the enrichment that you're talking about can still occur within reading, language arts, and math, because then we can use different manipulatives. They can use painting, they can use music to combine with those areas and provide that enrichment to that particular subject area. So even though it's core, they can be creative in bringing in things to build, to paint, to sing, and that it helps the English language arts and math. So those are some of the things that they are doing. So maybe I might not have understood you in the beginning, but I thought about it, and that's the kind of direction that they're going.
Thank you.
Okay, if we have no other items for new business, we can move on to comments from members of the Board of Education. And Ms. Gilbert, would you like to lead?
Oh, thank you, President Ayala. I'd just like to make a comment about the enrichment programs that Mr. Martinez brought up. I think they are really needed, and I hope that we can work something out so that we can include that. And as Mrs. Brown said, it's up to the principal. If we just give them the okay to say, yes, you can do that, and we will probably have students that can succeed with these enrichment programs. So let's keep that as a positive thought in mind, that we will do that. I would like to congratulate all the new appointees in their new positions, new principals and assistant principals, and everyone who has changed positions in the district. We want you to continue to do what you've been doing in making this a very great district. So we encourage you, if you got a raise or if you got a new position or whatever, just continue to work for our district. And we appreciate all that you do. I don't see Mrs. Garcia here any longer, but I too wanted to make a comment on the graduation process. And first of all, to congratulate all the graduates. I didn't get a number on the exact number of graduates that we had this year. Susan, do you know?
Each school had at least 500.
Yes, that's what I know.
The biggest had 572.
That was Eisenhower.
Right. So,
right.
Rialto High. Was
it Rialto High?
572.
Yeah, Rialto High was the largest.
Somewhere upwards of 1,600 students.
So our graduation rate is great. It's up. It's going up. And I did see all of San Bernardino County graduation rate has risen. So just keep up the good work. And I would also like to comment on the fact that having graduations at the Citizens Arena, I felt is a very positive thing. We're moving into the 21st century, and like Sarah said, that it gave more people an opportunity to, first of all, go to an arena. Our kids don't do that. And then they get to see their faces on the big screen, and their parents get to see them. This is exciting and new for Rialto, and I hope that this will be continued, because we don't want to move back. We want to keep moving forward. And with that, that's my comment for tonight. Thank you, President Ayala.
Well, thank you so much. Next, we have Ms. O'Kelly.
Yes, I'd like to congratulate everybody who got appointed tonight. Congratulations, and hit the ground running, and you'll keep running. It never stops. But good luck to all of you, and I hope you really enjoy your new positions. I also want to announce that I am the extremely and probably obnoxiously proud grandmother of a beautiful baby boy. He is simply perfect. And in fact, if you go to Google and you put in most beautiful baby ever, my grandson will come up. No, his name is Ryan, and he is beautiful and healthy, and we are very excited. He is our first grandchild, so it was a big moment in our lives. The other thing I just wanted to mention tonight, it's not a big deal, but you know, I got my draft agenda, and an item I had wanted to put on it was not on it. I totally understand the reason why, and I have no problem with that. But I would have appreciated the courtesy of a phone call from the board president just letting me know my item had been postponed. So thank you. And I enjoyed the graduations at Citizens Business Bank Arena. The graduation's just my favorite time of year. I definitely saw a lot of positives in having the graduations at Citizens Bank Arena, you know, in terms of being able to bring the number of people and things like that. However, I do miss, personally, the kind of down-home feeling we had at Eisenhower after graduation. So it's kind of a mixed bag. I'm not totally converted yet. I'll have to think about it a little bit more. But it was a really wonderful day and evening, and I was really happy to be there.
Well, thank you. Next, we have our clerk, Mr. Martinez.
Thank you, President Ayala. I agree with everything said so far. I would like to ask something for future. I understand that our grad rate and our dropout rate has improved substantially. If we could get a report for the public maybe soon?
Yes, we could have that at the next meeting.
That'd be wonderful, because when I look online, it's wonderful. So, okay. One of the top priorities of the board is people. And not just the students that we're all here for, but also bringing back CSEA and REA and management if we can. That is a top priority. Where we are, the budget is not signed. We don't know whether there's any strings that will be manipulated. We don't know. It's not in our coffers. Wise parents have taught me to wait until the money's here before I spend it. So that's where my heart's at. I want to bring everybody back, but I can't spend it because I don't have it. So up until then, we can't give you what we don't have. That's just my take on it. There's all the promises that we always hear from Sacramento. I'll leave that there. It is getting better, but it's not here yet. Tonight, I believe calls are going out. They're supposed to be going out as soon as we can to our teachers. And we're not going to stop there. We're going to keep working as the money comes in. As we have answers, then we'll go ahead and bring people back. But the board has a duty, both to the community and fiscally, financially, that we can't overspend and we can't get ourselves in a bind where we can't get out. So, you know me, it's caution. I still don't throw caution to the wind. I go by wisdom and I move forward. I understand there's negotiations tomorrow. I wish everyone well there. I would like 100% of the information to get out. We can't share our side. It's negotiations. Please get 100% of the information out. Then let the members decide. That's what I ask as a past CSEA member. Wow.
Don't scare us.
I'd like to, yes, yeah, my time's up. I'd like to welcome our police officer. I don't even know your name, I'm sorry, but welcome. Thank you for coming here. And that's it, Mr. President.
Well, thank you, Mr. Martinez. Next, we have Vice President of the Board, Edgar Montes.
Thank you, thank you. My heartbeat's going back down. Thank you. No, I'm just joking. First off, I would like to thank our Rialto Police Department and our officer here tonight. What was your name, sir? Officer Padilla. Thank you very much for being here tonight with us. I just want to say good evening, everybody. I want to welcome all of the administrators who have earned their new appointments. And at the same time, I also want to just let the parents know, because various parents were here tonight requesting that the board leave certain administrators in place at their schools. I understand they did an awesome job in many different ways. And I just want to encourage you to always express yourselves and your viewpoints and your opinions. And, you know, we welcome, everyone is welcome here at the podium at our board meetings. I do want to say that the new administrators that are going to be at the schools, we have total faith in them. I have total faith in them, and I guarantee they will do just as great as our outgoing administrators. So again, I just want to thank you again for coming here and sharing with us and sharing your petitions with us. Same thing for our classified employees. You guys have been hitting our board meetings pretty hard here. And I wanted to be part of the Sea of Blue today, so I came with a blue shirt. We want you to know that I want you to know that you guys have a lot of support, more support than you think. But the biggest and the strongest support that you have is each other, because as we've seen you guys coming in when some of your members were speaking, your greatest asset and your strongest support is your guys' numbers and your guys' your own family, you know. So thank you again for coming and sharing with us. We, as a board, place a great deal of trust to make sure that our staff are doing everything possible to be fair, to be just, and really try to benefit the district above all. We have to really put this district above ourselves, above any particular department, above unions. We have to put the children of this district above everything else, and we just hope that our people are doing the best that they can to negotiate fairly, wisely, and justly with you. I also just want to thank all of the parents that were in attendance at the graduations on June 2nd. I'm going to be honest with everybody. At first, I really did not like the idea of having the graduations at the Citizens Business Bank because of the cost. You know, and of course, it's a nice place, it's big, but it does cost somewhat. So when we're faced with tough decisions like laying off people or reducing numbers and staff, we have to take into considerations all of the expenditures that we have. But I do want to say that even though I'm against the expenditures, you know, this year I really saw the positive things of having an unlimited amount of family and friends attend our students' graduations. I got so many calls from family and friends that I didn't even know they were going to be at the graduations because they were there for their nephews or their nieces. And it's one of the great things about having the graduations there is that they can invite 5 carloads of people, like Ms. Garcia said. And it was truly I think a good experience for the families of our students graduating, special moments. And I agree that in that sense, you know, perhaps the pros outweigh the cons. And it's something that we need to consider in the future, whether we want to continue to have them there or maybe find somewhere a little bit more economical. But we definitely have to take into consideration that we can't, those bleachers at Eisenhower can't hold 13,000, you know, family and friends for our students. So
trust me, we tried.
And we want to take care of those football fields too, because those high hills really dig deep into that soil. So so I just wanted to say that much. You know, I'm going into my 3rd year as a board member, and I just want to say that never before have I felt such good enthusiasm and have I felt such positiveness all around in our district. I know we have a lot of things to work on. There's a lot of work to do. We have a lot of things that we still need to work on to change, but I do feel that this year is going to be probably one of our best years moving forward. And I want to thank everybody here in attendance tonight, and I want to thank everybody at home. And if there's anything that we can do as a board, people email us all the time, but if we don't respond in time, or if we don't call you back in time, just rest assured that we'll get to you. And your requests, your comments, your complaints, your prayers, they don't fall on deaf ears. We hear everything, and even if you don't tell us, we'll find out one way or another. So just know that we keep everybody in mind, and we understand. So thank you. Good night.
Thank you, Mr. Montes. I agree with everything that's been said here tonight. Our heart goes out to all the people that are worrying about their jobs. There's nobody up here in this cabinet or on this board who wants to see not one person lose their job. We're in a dilemma here. You get the governor saying he's going to give us money, and then you have a federal government taking away another chunk of money. So they take away the money, this one comes in, that one goes out. If you approve a plan and it doesn't work, then you have the county saying, okay, we gave you a chance, you can't handle it, we're going to take over. That's not going to happen. We have professionals here who know what they're doing. However, when you pick up the newspaper and you read that Sacramento is going to spend $100 billion on a bullet train, is it going to go by here? Is it going to affect us? Is it going to give us jobs here? Or is it just going to go in certain neighborhoods? Or is it just going to go to Vegas? I don't know. But $100 billion, that's our money that's going up there too. So the point being is there's times that we can get lost in the shuffle. Okay? Just like our community comes to board meetings here and they're heard, we still need representatives to go up to Sacramento and lobby for this city, for our kids, for our parents, for the jobs. Now, when you say lobby, what do? You build relationships. We have cabinet members here. This ain't their first rodeo. They know people up in Sacramento. They have built the relationships. There's some doors open. We got to take advantage of those doors, and shame on us if we don't do that. I will report to you. I went up there. I was voted liaison. I went up there with 300 other board members about a year ago. We had some sensitive issues. We went there nonpartisan. We wanted to talk to both sides of the aisle. For the most part, only one side of the aisle would have anything to do with us. 300 school board members from different districts from all over California. There's 1,100 school districts in California. That's 1/3. So this was alarming. When I came back, I didn't have anything positive to say. Maybe the timing was off. We keep learning together. So there are some opportunities coming up, but we also got to not forget, 70% of the voters don't have children in school, in our schools. 70%. So when they say no to this, no to that, I don't think they want to put us down or not help us, but they're thinking of their own interests. And so we need to find ways to include people, even those people who don't have school children. I know Colton is real close to opening up a medical school. It's going to take $50 million to do that. You can't just say, I want one. It has to be approved. So this is good news for our community. It's going to be a Westwood here in Colton, Arrowhead Regional Medical Center. We're going to have a medical school with doctors, and hopefully they will stay here and help us. There's a lot of good things happening. I'm just saying keep the faith. And again, I want to end with saying that, again, our heart's out with you. I hope the negotiations tomorrow, you find ways to compromise, keep things moving, and please don't burn bridges. Because unless you're going to move or go somewhere else, find ways to keep the lines of communication open, because they're so precious. And, together we can make things better for everyone. And like was mentioned earlier, and our kids, they just want to play. They have their trust in us. We need to make sure that they're taken care of. We got programs here. We got the Common Core coming up, and we have to have people to guide us. Thank you so much for listening to us and being patient with us. And with that being said, do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn in the memory of Mr. Curtis Winton.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 And I'd like to commend Mr. Ayala for making it through a meeting without mentioning Algebra 1.
Meeting adjourned.